So if you've ever tried, manifesting something big in your life,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a better job, or finding the right partner, or even just like feeling more at peace,
Yeah.
you've probably done the usual thing, right? Affirmations. Staring in the mirror saying,
Mm-hmm.
I am successful, I am
Yeah.
wealthy, money flows to me.
Mm-hmm. The classic approach.
Exactly. But how often do you finish doing that and just feel kind of disconnected? Like you said the words, but inside, there's still that little voice going, really?
Mm-hmm.
Are we just pretending here?
Uh-huh. Like you're just scratching the surface.
It feels like we're missing something crucial.
And that feeling, that sense of just performing it instead of really living it, that's exactly what our sources are digging into today.
Okay.
We're doing a deep dive into what's called embodied manifestation because, the reason those common methods often fall short isn't because your desire is wrong.
Right.
It's because they focus too much on the head, the thinking part. The source material we looked at suggests the actual secret, the real power, lies in connecting much deeper.
Okay. Deeper how?
In a way you can actually feel
Right.
right now in
Yeah.
your body. So our mission today is to get past just the wishing and the talking
Mm-hmm.
and explore how to build this unbreakable physical link to the reality you want to create.
Okay, I like that. A physical link. Because we have to start with what you called the affirmation trap, right?
Yeah.
Let's unpack why just saying, I am rich doesn't work when, your gut is screaming, I'm broke.
Exactly. Or saying, I am calm while you're white-knuckling the steering wheel in traffic.
Yeah, been there.
The sources talk about this thing called the brain bypass.
The brain bypass. Explain that.
Right. So the idea is when you repeat a statement, an affirmation that's like wildly different from your deep-seated beliefs or what you're actually feeling physically,
Mm-hmm.
your internal operating system, your subconscious, basically flags it, says, nope, doesn't compute, false.
Yeah.
It's too intellectual, too surface level.
But hang on, why can't we just, push through, force the new belief in? Yeah.
Well, because your subconscious isn't really built for just taking orders like that. Its main job is survival.
Okay.
So if you're standing there saying, I am totally safe and secure, but maybe your body is tense because of past experiences, maybe childhood stuff, or just chronic stress,
Yeah.
your body is holding the real story, the real data. And the subconscious mind, which, runs like 95% of the show, listens to the body first, not the words you're saying in your head.
So if there's a conflict.
The body wins. Every single time. It's kind of like trying to use a fancy theoretical map, that's your affirmation, while your internal GPS, the one wired by years of actual experience, is yelling, wrong way, danger zone.
Gotcha. So the words feel hollow because they don't have that physical weight behind them, that conviction.
Precisely. And that leads us straight to this really key distinction the sources make. This is where we find that missing piece.
Okay.
It's the difference between intellect, just knowing something in your head, and inner knowing.
Inner knowing.
Yeah. Intellect is the map. It gets the concept right. Okay,
Yeah.
I should be wealthy. But inner knowing, that's different. That's the solid, unshakable feeling, the physical sense of certainty that, yeah, this is already done. It's real.
Okay.
Affirmations often only hit the intellect. That feeling, that deep embodied knowing, that's the link that connects the mental blueprint to an actual physical vibrational state.
Okay, wait a sec. Let me push back a little here.
Uh-huh.
Because inner knowing could sound, to someone skeptical,
Uh-huh.
it's like wishful thinking with a better name.
Uh-huh. Fair point.
How do the sources address that? How do we know it's not just, more head stuff? How do we make it real?
And that's exactly where embodied manifestation comes in as the solution. It shifts the whole game from just thinking about it to actually being it.
Okay.
We bridge that gap by bringing the mind, the body, and the spirit all online together at the same time. So it's not something you do for 5 minutes, it's something you are.
Right.
And the main focus becomes achieving what the sources call a vibrational match.
Vibrational match. Okay, that term can sometimes feel a bit out there, a little jargony. For someone listening, you want something concrete. What does that actually mean, physically, practically?
Okay, think of it like this. Imagine your body is, say, a really sensitive radio receiver, or maybe a tuning fork.
Okay.
Your thoughts, they kind of choose the station, they decide what reality you're aiming for, but it's your feelings, your emotions, your physical sensations, that's the actual frequency you're broadcasting on.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to tune into, say, the peace station, frequency A, but your body is constantly buzzing with stress, frequency B.
You're just going to get more static,
Yeah,
more stress.
exactly. You can only really receive what you're broadcasting. So achieving that vibrational match means tuning your entire being, your physical self, to the frequency of what you desire. right now.
You actually have to physically hold the feeling, the frequency of the outcome you want.
Yes, precisely. And the sources get into this fascinating area they call the science of sensation.
Science of sensation.
Yeah, and this isn't just like a woo-woo concept. They frame it neurologically. Feelings, actual physical sensations, are how your brain confirms what's real.
Okay.
So if you can genuinely, physically feel the relief of being debt-free, or the joy of that relationship, or the confidence of that new role,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's warmth in your chest, a lightness, a sense of expansion.
Mm-hmm.
You're already operating on that desired frequency. Your brain gets the message, oh, this is real now. And the idea is that the external world, through both neurological pathways and energetic principles, starts to reorganize itself to align with that internal state you're holding.
Wow. Okay, so this is where it gets really practical, right? We move from the why to the how. The first big technique the sources offer is called the as-if experience.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's way more than just basic visualization.
Yeah, absolutely. It requires what they specifically term visceral visualization.
Visceral, like a gut level.
Exactly. Gut level, emotions, nerve endings, the whole system. It's about feeling the future reality so intensely, so completely, that your body believes it's happening right now. This is how you give your body the sensory proof it needs to actually buy into the affirmation.
And the key to making it visceral is sensory immersion.
Yes, full immersion. It's not enough to just have a fuzzy mental picture of success. The sources really emphasize engaging all 5 senses to convince your subconscious that this isn't just imagination, it's current reality.
Okay, give us an example. How deep does this sensory stuff need to go?
All right, let's take that financial freedom example again. Seeing a big number in your bank account in your mind's eye, that's just step 1.
Right.
You need to close your eyes and really feel it. What does that freedom feel like in your body? Maybe feel a texture of the ridiculously soft cashmere throw on your sofa while you're relaxing on a Tuesday afternoon, completely stress-free. Hear the gentle hum of your fancy new dishwasher, knowing all the bills are paid automatically. Smell the expensive coffee you finally have the time and money to brew perfectly. Taste the deliciousness of ordering whatever you want off the menu without even glancing at the prices.
Wow. Okay, that's comprehensive. You're basically creating a full sensory memory of something that hasn't happened yet.
Exactly. That commitment to the sensory details is what bypasses the skeptical intellect and drills down into that inner knowing we talked about. It turns a vague concept into a lived experience for your nervous system.
And this isn't just a one-off thing.
Definitely not. The sources stress that the application requires daily embodiment practices. You have to actively live from that manifested state as much as possible.
Meaning?
Meaning, if you're manifesting confidence, then today, regardless of how you actually feel initially, your posture needs to reflect confidence. The way you walk into a room, the tone of your voice, making eye contact. You act as if you were already that confident person. You embody it.
That's a serious commitment. Okay, let's shift gears to the second technique, because this one, based on the material, seems to address why even people who are good at visualizing might still get stuck. It's called Somatic Release and Alignment.
Yeah, this is, for me, maybe the most profound piece of the puzzle. It acknowledges something really important. Sometimes the block isn't about not trying hard enough with visualization.
Okay, sometimes the block is old stuff, historical resistance literally stored in your body. So this technique is all about clearing that internal resistance, specifically releasing energetic blocks.
But wait, if we've done the as-if visualization perfectly, felt all the senses, why would the body still be resisting?
Because, like we said earlier, the body keeps the score. It's the archive.
Ah, right. And the sources offer this really powerful insight. Things like trauma, past experiences of scarcity, deep-seated limiting beliefs, they aren't just memories in your head. They get stored as physical tension, as like frozen energy, as chronic patterns in your muscles, your fascia, your nervous system. So let's say your goal is safety and abundance. But maybe your hips are perpetually tight, or you always clench your jaw or carry tension knots in your shoulders.
Yeah, familiar feelings for many.
That physical tension, that's your body basically stuck in a loop, whispering or maybe shouting, "Danger's coming, be ready." It completely overrides your conscious desire for ease and flow. That stored energy acts like a huge subconscious emergency brake on your manifestation efforts.
So if we ignore the body's stored history, we're essentially flooring the gas pedal with visualization while simultaneously slamming on the brakes with stored trauma.
That's a perfect analogy. You have to physically release that old data, that archived tension.
Okay, so how do we do that?
The solution has to be physical too. which is why the sources talk a lot about movement as medicine.
Movement as medicine, not just like going to the gym.
Right. It's usually not about traditional exercise for fitness sake. It's more about specific kinds of movement designed to literally shake off limiting beliefs and get stagnant energy moving again.
What kind of movement are we talking about? Shaking, dancing?
Often, yes. Things like therapeutic shaking, conscious dance where you let your body move freely, maybe movements that allow sound like sighing or yelling or humming, things that feel safe enough for the body to finally let go of that frozen energy.
Kind of a primal release.
Exactly. The goal is to physically mobilize the trapped emotion, allowing your nervous system to process it and update its baseline feeling from scarcity or danger to safety and abundance. You're literally moving the energy of the past out of your physical structure so it has space to hold the energy of the future you desire.
I love that idea, turning a stuck belief into something you can physically move through and release.
Right.
Okay, and then the final piece of this alignment process, breath work.
Yes, breath work for deep integration. This is crucial.
Why breath specifically?
Because your breath is the fastest, most direct way to communicate with your autonomic nervous system. Conscious breathing patterns, especially slow, deep, diaphragmatic breathing, directly influence your vagus nerve. This can pull your body almost immediately out of that chronic fight-or-flight stress response that trauma and scarcity tend to lock us into.
Ah, so you're calming the system down chemically.
Precisely. By intentionally changing your breath pattern, you are physically and chemically aligning your entire system with that calm, centered, abundant state you visualized. You're basically teaching your body, on a cellular level, how to relax into the feeling of already having what you desire.
Wow. Okay, so this whole journey has taken us from just thinking positive thoughts to actively feeling the desired reality in our senses, and then, really importantly, clearing out the old physical baggage through movement and breath. It really is a path towards the embodied life, as the sources call
It
it.
truly is. It's that fundamental shift from the state of wishing for something to the actual lived state of being it. And when you cultivate that deep internal shift consistently, you kind of stop desperately chasing the external result. Because you've changed your internal operating system, the outcomes you desire start to become the natural, almost inevitable consequence of the person you've become.
So when that internal state really takes hold, how does the outside world actually, catch up?
That's where they talk about the ripple effect. Because your internal state, your vibrational frequency, your point of attraction has fundamentally shifted, your thoughts, your actions, even your unconscious reactions, they all start changing automatically.
Okay.
You stop making decisions from a place of lack or fear and start operating from certainty and trust. And the external world, well, through things like synchronicity, new opportunities appearing, and just your perception changing,
Yeah.
it starts to rearrange itself to match that new, consistent frequency you're putting out.
So the desired reality stops being something you're striving for.
And becomes something that just is, because you are already living it internally. It becomes inevitable. This has been a really eye-opening deep dive. It totally reframes manifestation away from just hopeful thinking and grounds it in, well, physical reality and dedicated practice. I think the biggest takeaway for you listening is really clear. True manifestation seems to be fundamentally about feeling and being. It's about giving your body the undeniable sensory proof that what you want is already here.
Absolutely. And that leaves us with a final thought, maybe a challenge for you to explore. If we accept this idea that our body is this living archive holding both old wounds and future potentials, the question becomes, knowing that physical alignment is maybe the real key to change, what's one small movement practice, or maybe even just a conscious breathing exercise that you could try today? Something to start physically tuning your nervous system towards abundance instead of just waiting for your thoughts alone to convince it. Maybe it's time to start physically moving those blocks.